Okay, everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and looks like Monday, even though the markets wasn't open for us, it sure did tank. As far as whether or not this is going to be the start of P3 or not, I would say it's highly unlikely. I'm going to say that this is going to be a shakeout move. Yes, we're going to have some down here, but I do think that they are going to turn and reverse it back up and not allow the bears on and trick us all. That's just the way that they do. So I think when you look at this right here, I think where we are at when comparison to over here, I think we are right here with this big red candle. And I think that that's what's going to happen tomorrow. So, and we might get 2 days down even. Tuesday and possibly Wednesday. And then I think they're going to turn and run it back up and probably end up putting in a higher high than this right here to take out those bears. And then they'll take it down. And for how low, I don't know. I mean, you know, obviously I'm not saying it's going to be exactly like this pattern right here. But we got to understand that this bull has been running for so long that he's not going to die the first sell-off. There's going to be dip buyers. Those dummies will come in here and buy on this and run it up. So the POMO money is still there, along with the dip buyers, which will go in there and they'll buy it up, and it should run and take out and go to a new, probably a new high. I suspect, this is just guessing, but I suspect where we're going to end up going is this fake print at 135.14, 135.14 on the SPY. Now, ironically, I think where we're going to open up tomorrow, Tuesday, is this area right here. I think we're going to open right there, gap down right there. That is 130. Let's see, 133.05. That is about 13. That'd be 13.30 and 50 cents. So around 13.30 is where I think we're going to open, which will match up with this right here. In other words, these prints right here were telling us that this was where it's going to open Tuesday. And sitting here looking at the futures right now are at 1327.75 right now at 9:35 p.m. on a Monday night. And so that equals, and they look to have stabilized right there. They're kind of bouncing around there, going down to 1326 and back up to 1327. So I think that's where we'll open, and at that point, obviously, it probably should sell off some on the fear, because you gap down that big, and certainly there's going to be some people that are going to bail out. And then how far will we go down? I don't know. Maybe down to this move right here, possibly. And then maybe they put the hard brakes on, pump the money in it, and run that thing back up the next day and the next day and the next day, and run it up and finally hit this fake print by this Friday. I know that sounds outlandish, but you guys know as well as I do that this market is rigged. It is 100% controlled by the Illuminati gangsters and the banking cartel. These are the guys that run this market. I watched an interesting set of videos that I posted on the blog that Derek sent to me. He emailed me, and it was talking about the banking cartel and how they had done this all the way back to 1971. That basically, at that point, Al Greenspan was brought on to rig the market back then, after the gold standard. So, you know, this has been around a long time. What we're seeing here, this rigging of the market, it's not anything that is it's not new. Okay, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, here lately it's been even more so. But they have planned this for a long time, And their plan was quite simply to print as much money as they could after the gold standard all the way to this date that we have today, and then finally crash it and go back to the gold standard. But what their goal is to go and buy up and use up all the resources of all the other countries of the world that they can give them paper dollars for. Buy up the oil, buy up the gold, the silver, everything they can from all the other countries, and they've been doing this since at least 1971. And then once they have exhausted it and the dollar is worthless, then they'll crash it and in turn go back to the gold standards, and all the countries will stop the trade and shut down their borders, and then America will use up the resources that we have here that they are hiding from people. Yes, there is in the middle of the country, there's, I think it's Montana maybe area, can't remember exactly what state it was, but in the middle of the country here we have several states that's got oil fields that surpass all of what Saudi Arabia has. Their largest fields would surpass it, but they've kept it hidden because they don't want the public to know about it. So so they will go and use this oil once the other countries of the world have pretty much shut down their borders and not allowed us to buy it with this paper money. So that's kind of the goal here, and so it's kind of a long plan that they've got. So that was some interesting audios that I listened to, but so that was Al Greenspan. He was along with it. Just keep printing the money, and of course Ben Bernanke's doing the same thing. Print it till it collapses. Print it till it collapses, and then they'll go back to the gold standard. So that's all planned. It's coming. It's in the cards. So as far as Tuesday, obviously I'm expecting a down day, and it might very well be a big red candle down day like this, and then possibly Wednesday put in a bottoming tail. And this is just speculation because I don't think they're going to take this thing straight down. And then I think they'll turn and run back up and go to that 135.14 print. You notice how this put in a higher high than this one here? Yeah, I think that's going to be the same thing, and that'll just annihilate the bears. The bears will just throw in the towel after such an event that is happening over there in the Middle East right now. That the bears will just give up and say, well, nothing can take down this market. If that can't take it down, nothing can take it down. And then this sell-off here will be controlled as well. It'll be some other news event they'll come out with. And finally, at some point, it'll really tank. So, whether or not we have this up move or not, I don't know. But obviously, we can expect some wild shakeouts in this move. And so that is definitely coming. Of course, these charts are not updated because the market isn't open yet. So, but basically, where we have failed to is right about here. It's where we have failed to. Fitch fills that gap right there. So we should, if they allow it to, we should go down here probably and retest this 1311 area, possibly, maybe. It's hard to say exactly. But that's a very strong possibility. Go back there and hit that, and then chug our way right back up. So, take this for what it's worth. Here it is again. Same thing, right down in this area, 1311, 1312. So it's 1311 right there. But, they're probably going to hit this trend line and bounce back up. I just don't think that this is the crash. Everybody was expecting this. To finally break down, and now that it has, you're going to have so many bears on board. It's you just can't really expect them to allow the bears to actually get fed. They're going to wipe you out. That's just the way the game is played. So they'll go down. I'd just be shocked if they keep going straight on down. I really would. It'd just shock me. I think more likely it's going to go down and bounce. And look right here at this 20-day moving average. That is at 13.29. So that's a possibility right there. If it goes down any further than that, then yeah, we got a real correction. Then we will not go back up. Obviously, if it breaks that and keeps on going down to here, then we're not going back up. But at this point, I do think that this is just the first throw down, and then there'll be more back up to trick everyone. So I know that's not what you guys wanted to hear, but take this for what it's worth and run with it and make some money with it, you know, if you can. So we're just going to have to watch these charts, but they're going to get very, very oversold very quickly here on the 30-minute. It gaps down like this in the 60-minute. It's going to just bury itself down here. And when we see it get down here to -2 or deeper, you can expect it to come back up at some point. And as it works its way back up, the market will keep chopping its way back down. So initially on this gap down, we should find some support right here at this green 1331 trend line. But what am I saying? I'm sorry. We're going to gap down below that. I think we're going to turn and come back up to fill that gap, and that might be a good place to get short, and then let it keep on going back down and possibly hit this trend line. This is all speculation, of course, but you know, I said in the weekend video there's an 80-85% chance that this would break down, but I thought maybe they'd run up there and hit that 135.14 SPY print first to fake everyone out. But yeah, they're going to do the opposite. So they're going to go down first, and then they're most likely going to run it back up. Again, there's no guarantee on that, but that's just from looking at the past charts. That's how they've done it, how they've tricked everyone. They do a number like this, a big red day down, maybe 2 red days down, and then turn and run it back up the rest of the week into the next week and just annihilate the bears, and then sell it off again, then back up again, up, down, and then they'll finally take it when we least expect it. I think they could push this out till into March. So I think we're going to have something similar to this right here before it finally rolls over. I don't see them just dying that quick. So the safer bet might be to get hold of some silver or gold instead of, you know, playing this. If you think you're going to just get one straight move down, I don't think it's going to happen, guys. They're notorious for stealing money. You know, that's what they do. They're professionals at it. These are professional thieves that run the stock market. So expect rallies to come out of nowhere that are designed just to steal your money. They have no economic reason, no news event, nothing. They're just designed to steal your money. That's it. So this is the largest casino in the world. These guys are the house, and you're the guy who just hit blackjack. But yeah, don't expect the next hand to hit blackjack. Okay, it just doesn't quite work like that. So, you know, if you make some good money from this, you know, take some profits is what I would certainly recommend. And that's it for now. I'll do another video obviously tomorrow after the market, but we'll see what happens. But that's just my speculative guess, is that we open on that fake print that they've told us about right here, 133.05, 1, 2, 3 ticks of it. I think that's where we're going to open, and we're going to go down and possibly to there, or maybe even a little lower. And I think we'll turn and they're just gonna steal it from us. And I think that they're going to end up doing this within a week or two, is where they're going to end up taking it to. Of course, I can be totally off on this, gang, but I'm just going by past history. So you can just look at it for what it is. Past history clearly states that the first move down isn't done. You know, if this move right here continued going up all the way up through here, and that was really the first major move down. Now, I guess we could argue that this one here was the move down, and we continued going up, but we haven't made that sideways move yet, and that's what this whole move right here is, a sideways movement. It's a whipping up and down, and so we have to make that. So assuming this goes down, we should go back up, then back down and up, and it should be a whipsaw. Really should, guys. But within 2 weeks, obviously this was stretched out for 2 weeks, and that kind of matches up when you think about it. You give this thing 2 more weeks here on the weekly for it to roll over. You get a little lower one here, a little lower one here. Give it 2 weeks, and then finally it just falls off a cliff. And that's, this isn't even showing signs of turning down yet. So we do need to see signs of this ready to turn down. See, it's still up. I know this is the start of a new week, but this is, it's got to show signs of it. So you need like a topping tail here on the weekly. So that means down Tuesday, Wednesday, back up. Maybe put in a spinning top candle. You need to see that, I think, before this thing really tanks. It's possible we could see a week like that. Yeah, it is. But, I'm just not expecting it right now. So we'll see. But I am probably expecting, if we close down this week, then the next week we could go up here maybe and put that higher high, like similar to this. But see, this one actually didn't put in a higher high. It did this week. See how this one did it? See how it went up, closed down, and then the next week it went and closed up, and then it finally tanked. That was probably very similar to what what we could expect. We could expect probably a spinning top here, then maybe the next week up. So, those are possibilities. So just be careful. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times, but I'm just trying to point these out. That don't forget that it is going to be a bunch of chop suey here designed to steal your money before they really, really tank it. We want to see this really roll over and start to head down, okay? And we want to see the same thing on the weekly here. We want to see it look like it's ready to roll over as well. So, but for those of you already short, hey, you're going to make some good profit come Tuesday and into Wednesday probably. All right, gang. I'll see you on the blog.